All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about a fundamental shift that's reshaping the entire global technology landscape, like right now as we speak. Something absolutely massive has been building, and it's all projected to hit this critical turning point by 2026. So it's probably time to forget everything you thought you knew about the world's tech hubs.
You know, for decades, one country was pretty much known as the world's back office. It was this reliable, kind of behind-the-scenes hub for support and services, a safe pair of hands. But that's the old story. And today, that whole narrative is being completely torn up and rewritten.
The new reality is this. India has transformed. It's become the world's global AI command center. And listen, this isn't just some small evolution. It is a full-blown revolution in how AI innovation, development, and deployment are happening on a truly global scale. And this isn't just a fancy title. It is backed by some staggering economic power. We're talking about a tech sector that's projected to cross $280 billion in revenue this year. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that is larger than the entire GDP of countries like Finland or New Zealand. That is the scale of this transformation we're seeing. A huge part of this momentum, you see, comes from a very deliberate, very strategic push. The Indian government is pouring fuel on this fire with a commitment of over 10,000 crore rupees through its landmark IndiaAI mission. So the crucial point here is that none of this is happening by accident. It is all happening by design. So how exactly did this happen? Well, it all starts with building a rock-solid foundation. And the first key pillar here is the IndiaAI Mission, which is the strategic plan for creating a sovereign, self-reliant AI infrastructure from the ground up.
At the very heart of this mission is this really powerful concept, the 7 chakras of innovation. I want you to think of these as 7 distinct but totally interconnected pillars. They're designed to energize the entire AI ecosystem, right from the very beginning.
So the first chakra is IndiaAI Compute, and honestly, this is a total game changer. We're talking about 38,000 high-powered GPUs made available to startups at a heavily subsidized rate. This basically democratizes AI development. It gives even the smallest, scrappiest teams the raw computing power they need to build the next big thing.
Next up is data, which, as we know, is the fuel for any AI. And this is where AI Kosh comes in. It's a massive national library of over 5,700 high-quality, uniquely Indian datasets. Now, this is so critical because it lets developers build AI that truly understands the local context, everything from the chaos of Mumbai traffic to the specifics of regional crop data.
And this focus on local context, it goes all the way to language itself. See, India isn't just importing AI, it's building its own foundation models that can understand and operate in over 22 diverse Indian languages. This is AI that speaks to its own people, in their own tongue.
Of course, all this infrastructure means nothing without the people. And that's where the India AI Future Skills Initiative comes into play. It's this massive undertaking to cultivate the next generation of talent, establishing 15,000 AI labs in schools to help bridge an estimated talent gap of 2 million professionals. Just incredible.
Okay, so let's move to the second pillar and see how this foundation really becomes an economic powerhouse. Here, we're going to look at the powerful combination of corporate strategy and smart public policy that has basically created a global innovation engine.
A huge driver here is the evolution of what are called Global Capability Centers, or GCCs. I mean, the contrast on this slide says it all. Historically, they were just simple support centers, but now they own entire global product mandates, from R&D all the way to launch. They are no longer the back office. In a lot of ways, they are the new headquarters.
And these GCCs are working on the absolute cutting edge. A staggering 70% of them are now piloting agentic AI. You should think of these as autonomous AI employees that can independently manage tasks like, say, optimizing a global supply chain or running an entire customer service division, all of it directed from India. So, you might be wondering, how did India attract this level of high-stakes work? Well, with some incredibly bold public policy. The government introduced what they called a cloud sovereignty push, and it included this landmark incentive: a 20-year tax holiday for any foreign company providing global cloud services from data centers based in India. And the result of that policy? An absolute flood of investment. As this chart shows, the world's biggest tech giants responded by just pouring tens of billions of dollars into building AI-specific data centers on Indian soil. I mean, this is a textbook example of successful industrial policy in the age of AI.
But we have to talk about the most important component, the one that truly makes everything else possible, and that's the people. This is India's AI generation.
I want you to just let this number sink in for a moment. 6 million. That's the estimated size of the AI and tech workforce in India today. It's a talent pool of almost unimaginable depth and scale.
To put that in perspective, this makes India home to the world's single largest technical talent pool available to global firms. And in the global race for AI dominance, that, right there, is the ultimate strategic advantage.
And the data, well, it backs this up decisively. From leading the world in AI hiring growth to becoming the second largest global contributor on GitHub, the evidence is just overwhelming. AI skill penetration is double the global average, and for nearly 90% of new startups, AI isn't an option, it's the default.
Okay, so we've got the infrastructure, we've got the investment, and we've got the talent. But what does it all really add up to? You know, beyond the numbers, what is India's true differentiator on the world stage?
The answer is captured perfectly in this one phrase: AI diffusion at scale. While many nations are focused on building the next frontier model in a lab, India's core focus is on something totally different: real-world impact.
This means taking AI out of the research lab and putting it into the real world, applying it to solve these huge foundational challenges for 1.4 billion people. It's happening in agriculture to increase crop yields for farmers, in healthcare to deliver faster, better diagnostics in remote villages, and in governance to make public services more efficient for absolutely everyone.
And that leaves us with a final, really powerful question to consider. Perhaps the true measure of AI leadership isn't just about building the next frontier model, but about using that power to create meaningful, tangible impact for all. And that, more than anything, is the story of India's AI revolution.